and if you're in Baños. So far, I would have to say that Baños, Ecuador, is the top spot that I have been to in Ecuador so far. Ayampe, I mean, it's the beach and the jungle in one place, and it's quiet. I mean, that would be number two for sure. But Baños is incredible. The volcano. We went to there's an animal park on the way down the mountain. Nagwal got to ride on a little miniature pony for the first time, and rented a jeep. And we only are here for a few days, so there's no way we can do everything. But we're only going to be an hour away, so there'll be more content. Unfortunately, Tungurahua, the volcano, was very cloudy, so I couldn't really get much video of the cone. I also didn't have time to hike up it, and I had to rent a vehicle to get, and it's hourly, so I'm gonna have to come back, I think, to really get deep with the volcano, because that's definitely on my agenda. Tomorrow, we just had a last minute change up of our schedule and Ameritrade. I tried to invest some money in stocks, and they just like froze our money. So last minute, we're trying to figure out how to change our booking, and we did it. So long story short, we'll be in not Puyo, Shell, Ecuador tomorrow in the Amazon. Meeting with the Shuar contact. He's telling me that I should go with him into the jungle in a canoe and way down the river, and then we should hike all the way into a Shuar community that has not very much contact at all with the outside world. And I think I had a brilliant idea about how to help them protect their land and crypto investment. I think my analysis of what's wrong with conservation movement, and maybe I'm underestimating people. This could be a total case of Gallon-Kruger, but it seems to me that they're either a bunch of hippies or people that are looking to make a profit off of conservation, which is not necessarily bad. It just depends on your level of honesty, I think. And actually, conservation for profit is something that another thing that I'm trying to figure out. But getting the Shuar to take the capital that they have for conservation and invest it wisely in things like crypto, if they're not thinking this way yet, they're going to be by tomorrow. And I mean, it's a little scary because, I mean, you guys know the volatility and whatnot, but I think that decentralized currencies are going to continue to grow. And so that's sort of like, I'm just trying to keep it quick because we're still going to go and soak. I don't know if you guys can see behind me this waterfall. At the bottom of it, there are the volcanic hot springs, which are incredible. The water is like this weird color yellow, which I assume is full of... Let me see if I can show you guys that crazy architecture. And then beside it, there's that tree that I've been calling the... Is it in there? Let's see. Yeah, you guys can see it right. Anyways, the poodle tree is like this crazy... Can I zoom? Yep. Okay. There it is. Yeah, that thing is just so weird. I don't know how well you can see, but it's just like all the branches go and terminate in these poofs of branches, which is... Sorry. Okay, so yeah, it's been amazing, and Baños is incredible. I know that it's struggling from tourism, and one of the things I've been thinking hard about is that, Peru gets all of the plant medicine tourism, and it's been so heavily commercialized, and there's so much cocaine down there. And I'm not trying to knock Peru. It's gorgeous, it's beautiful, but I mean, it's a little bit scarier than Ecuador for sure. And I think the deep jungle there is for sure worth seeing. So I'm not trying to really discourage anyone from going to Peru, but I think Ecuador is underrated in terms of natural beauty, and a lot of people just have never heard of it. The people here have been super nice. The best coffee I've had in Ecuador is some of the best coffee I've ever had in my life at 3 different places here, at least 3 different places. Excellent food, and a lot of places in Ecuador, if you have like European or American tastes in food and coffee and whatnot, you're going to be a little bit disappointed, but not here in Baños. And so, yeah. Absolutely incredible. We have lots of video of what I could get of the volcano and some of the other adventures in Cuenca and stuff along the way. I also want to remind you guys, I'm definitely going to the Patreon. Now there's the option of it was coming to Vilcabamba and going to have a ceremony with 3 or 4 different shamans and myself. But I'm thinking now what I'm going to offer is to bounce around to the best destinations in Ecuador. And I know the Shuar shamans and the best shamans in Vilcabamba and on the coast and all of these places. So we're going to start trying to put together some kind of packages that are just epic, because this place is incredible and people don't really know about it. It's definitely not, it's not like Iquitos. And in a lot of ways, it hasn't been ruined. And so, yeah, lots of good things happening. And thank you guys so much for supporting us, which we definitely would not make it without that. Especially, be careful with those brokers out there, man. It's not that they're dishonest, but what I'm noticing is that the old, like, dinosaur brokers, like, Ameritrade and these, like, they're tricky. They'll freeze your money just because you bought a stock. And so I had all my capital sitting in there thinking that it would all be liquid. And the other day I had this intuition that I needed to buy a crypto right away. And I wanted to pull my money out of Ameritrade, and just because I had bought some MindMed stock, I couldn't touch any of the rest of my money. They put a hold on all of it just because you buy one stock. So now all of a sudden I can't move my money around because Ameritrade wants to be able to hold it as long as they can and invest it. And I think that if you're using the newer conscious investing platforms, they're probably not going to pull that bullshit with you, because people aren't going to put up with it anymore. It's like the old paradigm. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but the crypto people are calling people that still use centralized currencies voters, because they're so out of touch that they're still, voting also. Okay, and then so I got one story for you guys that is very much consistent with the theme lately about this contact with the universal mind. And so as we were leaving, there was a volunteer. And I'll even just use his name because there's been like 6 Michaels that have come to volunteer there. So one of those guys, I was leaving, and you guys, if you follow the channel, you might remember the story about how I was looking for psilocybin mushrooms and couldn't find them because the pickers were clearing all the hills out. And then I'm walking home one day, and I just like have this feeling, just go into the woods for a minute. And I go in and I find this mushroom that looks inedible and smells like cucumbers, and it's all fleshy and squishy and weird, and I should have just tossed it away. And so I didn't do that. I brought it home and it turned blue, and then we went back and we picked like another pound or something over the next week. And I mean dried, right? So we're leaving, and it had just rained a little bit, and I see this guy, and he's really, I would have talked to him more if I'd had time. He was somebody I felt connected to, but just never really said a word to. I was just always busy. He was around for months. And I saw him, and I just said that, basically, like, hey, man, it's too bad we couldn't connect more. And then I thought, wait a minute, I'm leaving. I should just tell this guy where this patch is. So I was like, actually, you know what? There is a way for us to connect. We don't even have to be together. Let me show you where this Tiana is, because that's a strain it was. It was the Cyrillesen, which is the strain that, one of the strains that the pre-Columbian tribes used. And so, and also it's not found in Ecuador according to everything I can find, but apparently it is. So anyways, walking around, we can't find any. And I had some golden teachers, some cabenzas in my pocket, and I was like, okay, well, here, you can have some of these, and because I felt bad that they were not there. And so as we're leaving, I have this thought that he needs to find them. It's important. And so we'd given up, and he walks up and he points by my boot, and there's like exactly enough of them for like one good strong dose. And he said, just a second ago I had this thought that it was really important that I find them. And I was just thinking, like, if that was true, the probability is somewhere around 100% that we had that thought at the same time. So it's either telepathy or the universal mind. Um, but anyways, I just wanted to share that last little bit with you guys because that's been a theme with all my live streams lately, and it really hasn't stopped. I mean, there have been a lot of other sort of occurrences like that since we've left. And when I have more time, I'll sit down and make another video. So do me a favor, hit the like button, share, subscribe, and come to Baños. Come see us. Tomorrow, after we get set up, or maybe the next day, I'll do another live stream. The place that we're going is on the Pastaza River, but apparently there are 3 rivers that I can walk to and fish for electric eel or piranhas or whatever for dinner. There are anacondas, there are caiman, monkeys. It's for real, the Amazon. And then I guess after I've been there for 2 or 3 days, we're going to meet up with my Shuar contact, and I'm going to leave the family for a few days and go in a canoe out to sit with the Shuar and try to see what I can offer. I mean, that's basically what it is. In case you're not familiar with the situation, I just offered to. I worked with a shaman who is not Shuar but was taught by the Shuar, and his thing was that he was trying to protect this land by Gualaquiza from the Chinese mining interests. And it's not an easy thing to do because they'll just kill you. And then if your family can't pay for the land to the government takes it. And so they were tired of finding people floating dead in the river because the Chinese mining companies would just kill the landowners and throw them in the river. And also they would come with machines and they'd tell the Shuar, you have 4 hours to move your village or we're going to run it over whether you're here or not. And then the Shuar would go and buy guns from the narco-traficantes and come and shoot the Chinese. I mean, you guys, when I'm talking about how like American liberal hippie conservationists are naive, I'm not fucking kidding. This is not like down here. It's not, giving $20 on the internet or something. I mean, people are like dying over this shit down here. So the the government changed the law so that they could just take the land so that no one had to die. Which of course really just gives them the ability to just take your land and give it to the Chinese miners. Or mines, I guess. And so I realized that this is just, one Czech shaman working with the Shuar and Gualaquiza, but I have a small following and some supporters, and so I thought I should go to a different part of the jungle and see if I can't help raise some awareness or what I could possibly offer. And I was just going to come and interview this guy and talk about it and make a video, and he said, why don't you just come and live with us? And you might know I've struggled with my health for a number of years, and so between the opportunity to make some kind of more meaningful contribution to the conservation efforts of the Shuar, to learn the Shuar way, which is how they speak of their traditions and their encyclopedic knowledge of the plant. He's offered to teach me the Shuar way, which is an exceptional, rare, crazy opportunity in and of itself. So what am I going to say? I mean, we're basically trapped in South America waiting for my son to get his passport anyways. Oh, I should tell you guys this too. This is more universal mind craziness that you just can't even believe it. There's this guy that I met in San Francisco a long time ago, great friend now, under crazy circumstances. I'll have to make a video about it. I'm not going to try to explain it right now, but basically came out of nowhere. I needed exactly $1,000. I was literally leaning against a wall saying, where am I going to get $1,000? This guy just hands me $1,000 and says, can I have your ear for 15 minutes? I mean, it was just the most ridiculous thing. And so, like I said, I can't tell you the whole story right now, but ultimately we ended up living with Bob Dylan's ex-wife. That's what this guy was, that's why he gave me the money, basically. A long story. But he just contacted us the other day because I was trying to go back to San Francisco, which is really, really expensive place to live, and record with this guy, Raz Kennedy, or write with him to record with the band that I was working with. And so I'm like, how am I possibly going to do that? And this guy sends us this message and says, hey, my buddy would like to be a benefactor. I played him something you did, and he'll rent a flat for you in San Francisco and pay for it for 6 months, pay for your tickets. And so he'd already offered all that, and then yesterday he sent another message saying, hey, you got to call me, great news. And I'm like, my plan was to go into the Amazon, get my head and my health the rest of the way together, and then go record this demo in San Francisco. And I'm like, how in the fuck am I going to do that? Because it's going to cost tens of thousands of dollars. And here I am on my way into the Amazon, and I get this message. So I just, I mean, you know, you guys have been saying if you align yourself with the pi formula, positivity, uh, squared by, or positivity guided by intelligence and intuition squared, meaning that intelligence and intuition are balanced. You know, you align yourself with the symmetry of creation, the energy and the consciousness behind creation. That's just seems to be how things go, and I can't be positive. I can't be sure that that everyone's experience will tally with mine, but that is certainly how it has appeared to me for a long, long time. You know, when you live completely outside of society and uh, uh, it's just I've had ample opportunity to prove this to myself and anyone who's paying attention, I think. And I just hope that if you need some inspiration, that watching this shit go down and listening to my stories, and it really makes me happy that it's not just that I have all these crazy stories in the past. This shit is still happening in real time, you know, and now the phone's going. You know what I mean? Like, here we are in the current, and it just hasn't stopped. Just reformats itself. So, thank you guys so much, and I will see you very, very soon. Like I said, probably the day after tomorrow, I'll do a live stream from the jungle, and we'll get caught up. Cheers.